If we think about environment, the image here is that it's activating a certain part of our nervous system. If I'm just sitting and observing, I'm activating a certain part of my nervous system. If I start to act, if I start to move, I'm engaging more, right? I'm beginning to activate more of who I am, more of what's going on. Similarly, then with capabilities, I'm activating these other aspects. With beliefs and values, I'm getting these, again, these different aspects are going more deep. And then finally with identity, there's this activation of the whole nervous system. And then that sense of connection to something bigger, a larger field. One of the things we will realize is that that this shows up, we're able to hear it. And this idea of neuro-linguistics, neuro-linguistic programming is that you can hear these in the way that people speak. You can see them in the way that people are engaging or moving. You can see how many of these levels are being activated. So, for instance, we were talking about reflexes. A reflexive response is simply this: if something is coming at us, we duck. It's pretty automatic. And that's pretty much engaging these basic parts of our nervous system. We're just reacting to things that are going on. Whereas if we start to develop something as a habit, if a behavior isn't just a single response, but it becomes a habit, we're starting to engage other levels, right? It's probably starting to engage at least some of these things in the cortex of the brain. Whereas if we start to get something like a phobia, it is not just a behavioral habit, it's also an emotional response. It's engaging something deeper in an ongoing way. And then things like addictions go all the way up to something like an identity level. And as a result, the whole idea here, of course, is that on the one hand, you might call these different kinds of neuro-linguistic programs. And to create them then is going to take different kinds of conditions, different kinds of interactions, and also to change them will then involve different kinds of conditions, different reactions. And NLP, we might say it also will take different kinds of tools.